am Victoria Iona Fields. I have always loved music. We were raised in a musical family. Mom and Dad were choir directors, and my mother eventually played the piano. And when she took over as the youth choir director and the piano player, eventually I became the director for the youth choir, and by force, actually, one of the lead soloists. Because if your mother is the piano player and no one else will lead the songs, it's safe to assume you have to learn them. But I learned from that I really did enjoy music. I remember before we actually had a youth choir, we only had the young adult choir. But I wanted to sing so bad. They had these green robes with the yellow stoles, and I had a mini green robe with the yellow stole, and I would lead the choir in. I'd be the one in the front, and I would lead the choir in. I've just always wanted to sing, so we didn't have a youth choir, but I wanted to sing, so they actually ordered me a kiddie robe so I could sing in the choir.
Here we go.
Well, I do gospel music, and I don't know how to term that because I don't have like a style. It's not a traditional style or whether it's a contemporary style. I'll just say it's just music based on the good news, and that's about, Christ and all. Because I don't have a particular sound, because I'm influenced by a lot of things, because we grew up listening to a lot of choir music, but we also grew up listening to a lot of quartet music. And as I became older and was exposed to more, I do love contemporary sound. So basically it's just however a song comes to me and whatever beats and rhythm I get with it, that's what I do. It's whatever I feel as the song comes to me.
Let's do it. Walk out on that water.
Loving me in a way like no other, you love unconditionally. It's amazing.
My first single that is coming out, I actually did write that. And what I'm going to be working on my upcoming project will all be music that I wrote.
I got that.
The name of the song is It's Amazing, and really no big story behind it. Just one day the lyrics just came to me, and so I wrote them down in a notebook, and I sang it in my phone and went back and just figured out how I wanted it to go and everything. The song is just really, if you look at today, how beautiful today is. And it literally is just looking at how amazing God is, how he made the birds, the bees. You can feel the sun shining, the wind blowing, and that is truly awesome and amazing that somebody created all this, and that regardless of what I go through or whatever situations, he keeps me, he protects me. And I, don't know exactly, I've, kind of gone through some ups and downs lately, and it's just amazing to me that through all of it, he's kept me. Some things that some people, probably would have been like, I don't have time for this, I'm gonna just throw in the towel, just forget it. I've managed to just say, this too shall pass, and hey, life goes on, and I'm gonna be all right. When I realized the impact that music sometimes could have on people, you would kind of go, really? People are reacting like that? But it's not about you. It's about whatever the message is that you sang in that song. And also they can see the sincerity in it. And just making that connection with them. And when you see that tear, or they come to you and they said, I was sitting in the back and I tried to hold it, but those tears just, flooded my eyes and I couldn't hold it back. I just thank God that he uses me, to touch people. You never know what people are dealing with. I can't think of anything in particular that inspires me. Sometimes it could be something that I've experienced Sometimes I really wake up in the middle of the night and something would just be in my spirit, and I'll get up and I'll write it. Or I keep my phone by the bed because sometimes I get up and there'll be a melody in my head, and so I'll just sing it real quick, even if it's only 2 or 3 lines, and then I go back and listen to it later and build upon it. But I think a lot of it is just things that happen in my life or things that I've witnessed or experienced. Sometimes it can be even a message. My uncle was teaching Bible study about a month ago, and he was preaching about the prodigal son. But the points that he pulled out were things that I hadn't really heard anybody really focus on. And listening to it, I was just thinking as I was writing the notes in Bible study, and I said, I can make a song about that. And so I made a song from that, Sealed with the Kiss. And that'll be on the new CD. And it's just all about, when the prodigal son did return home, his father gave him a robe. And, in the Bible, that's, when you get that robe of royalty, it shows that you are being restored. He gave him a ring. And we know, a lot of families have signet rings, and that means, you're a part of that family, and giving him that ring meant that not only, did I welcome you back, I've restored you. You are a member of this family once again. And then he sealed it with a kiss, and it made me think about how important a kiss is, because at every wedding, at the end, they say, you may now kiss your bride. So that signifies that, okay, it's done. I've given you this robe, this ring, and I've sealed it with a kiss. You're back home. You don't have to wonder anymore, have you earned your place back here? And I think sometimes it's like that with God, that we try to, when we come back to him, when we've strayed, we try to think, okay, I'll put, if I do more of this, more of that, then maybe he'll forgive me. Once he's forgiven you and restored you, it's done. There is no other penance we need to keep doing over and over. It's finished. And songs can just come from anywhere. Because I also write poetry. And sometimes I can just think about something. When I was teaching school, my kids used to be just like, Miss Fields, I can't believe that, because we'd be on poetry and doing similes, metaphors, doing haikus, and I would just throw the example, and they were like, how does it come? I don't know. I think I just love words, and I love music, so stuff like that just comes naturally.